Hey guys, I wanted to make this video real quick to discuss a few issues that a lot of people have had with the Garmin VIRB, specifically the XE. A lot of people complain about the image quality, so I'm going to talk about video quality first. And a lot of people complain about the color quality, and I'm going to talk about that afterwards. And I have a few videos that show how much of a difference you can make with your video quality if you just change a few settings yourself. If you just manually change a few settings yourself instead of using the base settings that come on the camera. And as you can see right now, I'm actually recording this video with the Garmin VIRB XE. And I just adjusted a few settings, changed the white balance, I changed the ISO level, I changed the, it's recording HD right now, but under 30 frames instead of 60, and I'll discuss that a little bit later. So go ahead and check out those side-by-side comparisons, and let me know what you think, and then after that, we'll go ahead and talk about a few other issues. Okay, so you saw the video quality, you can see the difference it makes just by changing a few settings. Now let's talk about a few of those. Okay, first of all, HD video under 60 frames per second seems to have a very muddy look to it. And you'll see that in a lot of other review videos, people discuss that. I'm not sure why. Really the only thing you can do with that is just not use it unless you really feel like you're going to record something that's extremely high pace, very fast, so you need that increased frames per second to really capture all of it without lag. I would suggest using 30 frames per second. And I do believe Garmin suggests that as well. Maybe they suggest it because they know that the 60 frames per second quality sucks. I think it's a codec issue, by the way. I don't think it's the camera itself, because the camera has great specs. It has a lot of good hardware, but the codec, the conversion, whatever happens in between the camera recording and you taking that recording from the camera to your computer, jacks it all up. Who knows why? Okay, the next topic, the next issue I've run into is when you're using the image stabilization, you actually get a more muddy look as well. And that happens on 60 or 30 frames per second, which is a big bummer, because when you're looking to buy a camcorder, you're probably looking at a GoPro or a Garmin or the Sony cameras. And the difference between the Garmin, between the other two, is not only is it waterproof, but it also has built-in image stabilization, which is great. But unfortunately, for the time being, it's going to cause more issues than it's worth if you're trying to record something that's very clean and sharp. So if you're underwater, if you're on a motorcycle or something like that, you might want to use it. If not, I would stick without it. What you all should look out for if you want to get nice, crisp video, I've learned if you're going outside, your ISO rate needs to be low. Manually change your ISO rate to a lower level. You need to have a very good white balance. It just depends on what you prefer. If you are in a very sunny area, maybe you want a more tinted blue look, then you go with a low white balance. It's going to give you that nice, cool blue look. If you want something normal, something even, go with whatever the middle setting is, or a little bit above that. And if you want something that's more dark, kind of orangish red, then go with a higher setting. Right now, I think I'm at 6,000, which is great for me because it kind of makes my skin pop a little bit more. It's one other thing, it depends on your skin tone, it depends on your environment. But for me, mine, at about 6,000, it makes my skin pop out a little bit more, which is great for me. And last but not least, you may want to play around with the color curve as well. I personally did not, because I didn't really see too much of a difference between the flat and the vivid setting. but depending on what you're doing, there might be a huge difference. So go ahead and check that out. I hope that helped. There's a lot of things you can do with this camera. Don't give up on it. GoPro has a lot of cool features, and personally I was disappointed when I bought the Garmin, and I felt like I wasn't really getting what it was worth. And after playing around with it for a little bit more, I feel like I got a little bit more out of it. I'm going to do a little bit more comparisons to see if I'm really getting the same quality as a GoPro. I mean, if it's going to cost as much, if not more than the GoPro, then it should give you the same quality. But as you can see and hear, the audio quality is fantastic. I'm not using a mic right now. This is all from the Garmin. So hopefully that helped. I'll see you soon.